College basketball season tips off on Nebraska Public Media tonight. Greg McDermott's new look Creighton Blue Jays welcome in TJ Otzelberger's Iowa State Cyclones for a nationally ranked non-conference exhibition matchup. It's Big East versus Big 12 next. We're live from CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska, as we unofficially kick off the college men's basketball season here on Nebraska Public Media. It's the number 16 Iowa State Cyclones versus number 23, the Creighton Blue Jays. Hi, everybody. Alongside Nick Baugh, I'm Bill Dolman. It is so good to have you with us as we tip off this college basketball season. It's the March to March and maybe April. It begins unofficially since this is an exhibition, but Nick, for two teams with championship mindsets, this really does kind of feel like a main event.
It does. The two words that come to mind are anxious and excited. I think the coaches are anxious to see what their teams look like, and the players are excited to play against someone else. They've been going at each other every day in practice. They're ready to see someone else. You can feel the tension in the air. This is going to be fun tonight.
Now, this Iowa State team has lost its top two scorers from last year, and Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert. Joshua Jefferson was their number 3 scorer. Can he be their number 1?
Well, you see, the 7 rebounds led the team, but he was second on the team in assists. So you start with the fact that he's a well-rounded player, and as Taman Lipsey comes back from injury, I think leaning on Jefferson in the scoring department and offensively is a good place to begin. It's his second year under TJ Otzelberger. Could be a big leap for number 5 for the Cyclones.
Now, like Iowa State, Creighton has 9 newcomers on its roster, so the Blue Jays are the new Jays, or even the Who Jays.
Yeah.
But if you want to get to know somebody, you're going to get to know Nick Graves because he loves to shoot it.
Yes, he does. He was a scoring point guard at Charlotte. Going to be a little bit more of a set the table, run the show kind of a point guard for the Creighton Blue Jays because of all the shooting that he has. But you don't want to take away that aggressive playmaking mindset. What he was really good at, Bill, is he got to the free throw line a ton. He was top 20 nationally in free throw attempts per game. So he is a very talented guy with the ball in his hands.
Well, these two teams met in closed-door scrimmages before the seasons the past couple of years. Tonight, the doors are wide open for all the world to see. It's Creighton and Iowa State coming up next. A lot of pageantry tonight at the CHI Health Center in Omaha, getting set for Iowa State and Creighton. Here's a look at the starting lineups, and we're going to see a lot of players tonight. Defense is the calling card for Iowa State, and two guys who do it very well, Nate Heise and Killian Touré. Heise's a veteran, a senior. Touré is a freshman by way of France, played at Brewster Academy last year. You see the other 3. Now for the Creighton Blue Jays, we talked about Nick Graves, but Blake Harper last year as a freshman at Howard was both the rookie and player of the year in the conference. Nobody's ever done that before. He's an exciting player. And Isaac Trout's going to get the start tonight as the three-point shooting specialist from Grand Island, Nebraska. A couple of players that we will not see tonight because of injury. There won't be any Taman Lipsey for Iowa State, and Mason Williams, a newcomer to their program, is out for the year. So, but no Lipsey tonight. Kind of disappointed that we won't see him. No Jackson McAndrew tonight, though, Nick, for Creighton, and we also won't see Owen Freeman.
Yeah, and you'd imagine that the starting front line will likely be Freeman and McAndrew when the season officially tips off. And Lipsey's the point guard for TJ Otzelberger there. So down a few stars, but still a lot of talent on the floor for both these teams that are ranked in the top 25 in the preseason polls.
Saw TJ Otzelberger 5th season as the head coach at Iowa State. There's Jefferson spinning and scoring on the opening possession for the Cyclones.
That is the one area that Isaac Trout has worked and improved, but just his lateral mobility, and that's a pretty good catch, finish, and drive from Jefferson to get things started.
Here's Blake Harper into the corner. Nick Graves thinking about his first Creighton shot. Uses his arms well, and it's swatted away.
You get an open look, you better shoot it against Iowa State because there's not going to be a lot of them. I thought Graves needed to catch and shoot. Instead, he probes and he gets his shot blocked.
And it's blocked by Blake Buchanan. Momcilovic wears 22. He has the green light from TJ Otzelberger to shoot it from anywhere, basically on the floor. Good step under move again by Jefferson. He's got the first 4.
It's about time to remind you, no Kalkbrenner. It's a little bit different with your post defense and defense at the rim. Creighton's lived in a world where they have dominated in that department. Was the National Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. So not as much resistance.
Josh Dix cut off along the baseline. Trout's going to try a long-range three. That's off the mark, and Jefferson has the rebound. I thought things looked a little bit differently for Creighton on the defensive end.
Just a little bit different without old number 11 patrolling the paint.
They trimmed the trees.
Yes.
Toure on the run, and he lays it in off the glass.
What, just layups, easy baskets. Toure, you mentioned it, more of a defensive-minded player, but just playing aggressively, taking what the defense gives him. What a start for the Cyclones here.
Jason Green, the Millard North product, has it. And now Dix. He and Freeman transferred to Creighton from Iowa. Dix gets some contact, and that'll send him to the line for our first free throws.
Joshua Jefferson just one-on-one in the post. No double team coming, no digs coming. You give a good player like Jefferson is that much space and time to operate in the post, he's going to get a good high-quality look.
And again, no Kalkbrenner coming.
Kalkbrenner, yeah. It almost should be like a graphic underneath it. Just reminding you, no Kalkbrenner on the floor for the Blue Jays.
And Josh Dix is good on the first free throw. He was a 76% foul shooter last year at Iowa, where he averaged 14 points per game, and he has Creighton's first two.
He grew up, Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln, about 15 miles from Creighton's campus. He grew up a Creighton fan. So he is very excited to be wearing the white and blue, and I know Greg McDermott's excited about it as well.
Heisey kicks it back out to Jefferson. Silovich. Jefferson wants another shot, not going to get it. Buchanan, corner to Heisey. Good team defense here by Creighton, and that's a foul on Buchanan, shouldering into Blake Harper.
You called it, Bill. Much more active and engaged. Started with a post double team, but then Harper's able to get to that weak side and close out. That's got to get Greg McDermott very pleased, finally having a good defensive possession. He was just wanted to see what these newcomers would look like tonight. He's been trying to build those habits, Bill, in practice. Can you take those habits that you've been doing on the practice floor and do it in front of a lot of fans and against another team in Iowa State?
Several thousand fans have made their way to CHI here in Omaha. There's something else going on in the state of Nebraska that might have people's divided attention, but very good for an exhibition game in October. Graves, nice pass inside, and Green scores.
Really good play from Nick Graves. You're going to have to make pass fakes to get the ball around these Cyclones' active defenders. And Trout was on the three-point line, and you got to honor him, and that opened things up for Green inside. That's a good play from Graves.
Yeah, Nick Graves is going to get caught for shouldering up with Momcilovic.
So take a look. Pick roll. See how Trout's moving up the floor, holds that help defense. Nick Graves able to fake a pass to make a pass. That's what you have to do against active defensive teams, and Iowa State is certainly active.
Toure and Buchanan exit the Iowa State lineup, and Plata has come in. It's basket out the inbounds pass, and that's scored by Momcilovic, his first two. Also into the game for Iowa State, number 11, Dominic Nelson. Good patience shown by Jason Green, and he draws a foul.
Something that has caught the eye of the Creighton coaches early on is Nick Graves' feel in pick and rolls and finding the roll man, finding shooters. Again, he was more of a scoring guard at Charlotte a year ago, but certainly capable feel, and with all the weapons around him, he's going to have opportunities to rack up assists.
Good free throw shooting so far. And Greg McDermott goes to the bench.
A couple of newcomers. Austin Swartz, the Miami transfer, who the coaches have said he might be the most talented player on the team. Just raw basketball talent. Swartz is drenched in that. And then Karam Conan will check in. Excuse me, Conan will check in as well. Very accomplished European big from Turkey.
6'9". Green at the free throw line. Good on the next free throw. It's a 2-point edge for Iowa State. Just over 3 minutes gone by in this exhibition contest in Omaha. Iowa State last year, 25-10, lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Played it with a nice catch, blocked by the rim. Nice job also by Conan. Graves had an open lane. Sets it back outside, Josh Dix. Shot clock down inside 10 now. And that three-pointer is good, drained by Nick Graves. And Creighton has its first lead.
Got his shot blocked to start the game, but since then it's been all great plays offensively for Graves. Couple assists and now knocks down a triple.
That's off the hands of Nelson, and that's going to take us to our first timeout. And we go to our first break with Creighton on top of Iowa State by a score of 9-8, and they got that lead thanks to this long-range three from the newcomer, Nick Graves. So you want to be a head college basketball coach? Send your resume to that guy. Look at the coaching tree that has come from Greg McDermott over his 32-year coaching career, the last 16 years here at Creighton.
That's a coaching forest. Not just a coaching tree. And the other name that's not on there is Al Huss, who is the coach in waiting,
right.
was at High Point for the last couple of years. Incredible. But TJ Otzelberger just lights up and raves about Greg McDermott. Basically said, I owe my coaching career to him. You can't have a career unless someone gives you an opportunity, and that was Greg McDermott to TJ Otzelberger. And it's pretty amazing what Coach McDermott has been able to do with all of his assistants and what they've gone on to do in their careers.
TJ Otzelberger was an Iowa State assistant 2006 to 13, and again 2015 to 16. Greg McDermott spent some good years at Iowa State and had great staffs there. Very similar, I guess, you'd be talking about coaching legacy to, what Henry Iba had with all those great coaches that emanated from his legendary career. Turnover on Creighton's going to send it back to Iowa State.
Well, one of the things you talk to a lot of coaches that have coached under Greg McDermott is that he empowers them. He gives them freedom. He gives them opportunities. He doesn't just not trust you. If he's going to hire you, you're going to coach for him.
Jefferson has that go off the rim, and it's tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Iowa State. So Creighton possession with a 1-point lead. Just about 5 minutes into this opening exhibition. Ty Davis there on your screen has checked into the lineup, a sophomore from Mountain Brook, Alabama. Into the lineup for Iowa State, their highly touted and coveted newcomer. It's Jamarian Bateman, who's a freshman from Milwaukee, and they love everything about him. His acumen on the floor, is a tremendous student and a great character guy.
Valedictorian at his high school. TJ Otzelberger just said he's got incredible habits as a human being, as a basketball player. Just couldn't say enough about Bateman in our conversation with him before the game.
That's a second foul on Dominiscus Plata of Iowa State, so he may see some time on that ISU bench. Otzelberger said that Bateman is a champion in all areas of life at just 18 years of age. 4-star recruit, too.
Yeah, I was
pretty good player.
I was going to say, we talk about all the other things. He can play some basketball, too. 25 points per game. He's a top 100 recruit. This guy's going to be a great Cyclone.
There he is trying to track down Davis, who kicks it back out. This is Swartz, who's had a good fall camp. He pulls up, his three's off the mark. Easy rebound back into the hands of Blake Buchanan. Cyclones hit 4 of their first 5 field goal attempts prior to the media timeout. Haven't hit a shot in a while, though. Nelson down the lane. He's got some contact, no foul. And the rebound plucked out of the air by Kunan.
Wow. Pretty impressive sequence from Conan there, pushing it. He has come in and made an impact defensively right away. He's altered some shots. He's been in the right place around the hoop.
A lot of contact, no whistle. Shot clock down to 7, down to 6. Schwartz takes a look at it, pulls up with 3 on the shot clock. That's front iron, no good. Good rebound. Hustle play by Davis. Kicks it back out to Fedor Zugic, who drains a 3.
What a winning play from Ty Davis. Able to track down a rebound and then have the presence of mind to then look to the three-point line. The best time to shoot a three is off an offensive rebound, and Zugic knocks it down.
Zugic wears 7. Momcilovic, three-pointer in and out, no good.
And that's kind of what Coach Otzelberger wants from Momcilovic this season, to just relentlessly be aggressive to shoot the ball on opportunities just like that.
Zugic going to try another three, and that one settles in, and that's good. Blue Jays have opened up a 7-point lead, 15-8.
Zugic just had kind of a mess of last year, where it was a ton of uncertainty on whether he's going to be eligible. He gets eligible around Christmas, and it just was a really hard time for him to get eligible, but he's really talented.
That was a tough pass. Zugic was out in front of everybody, and Creighton settles in. It's a 15-2 run for the Blue Jays. Terrific start to this one. Now Schwartz, more sophomore from Concord, North Carolina. Jason Green back into the game. Works his way around Buchanan. That's no good. And Bateman has the rebound. Davis got a hand in there. With all the contact we've been seeing, that's a touch foul on Davis.
Fedor Zugic is talented. Just took him a little bit to settle in last year, but when he finally did, he was on the floor with the game on the line a handful of times last season. And you see the ability. Can shoot the ball, can handle it. This guy that played high-level professional basketball in the top league in Germany 2 years ago.
Zugic, a 40% three-point shooter last year, averaged 4 points per game. He's already got 6. Here's Bateman. First real touch offensively from him. Touré's back in there. Touré's going to try a three, and that's just off the mark. Buchanan the rebound. Another possession. Bateman's going to put it up quickly, and that's no good. Iowa State's gone cold. Schwartz hounding Heisey. Bounces it inside, and that's Eric Mulder. That's no good. And the rebound to Trout. That is some solid defense turned in by the Blue Jays. Josh Townley Thomas has come in for Creighton. He has the basketball now. Where's 53?
Every pass contested when you're playing Iowa State.
Schwartz, a three, that's good.
You see the confidence that Schwartz has, and that was his first in-rhythm look. He's had to take some late clock ones there, piece of the paint, right in rhythm, and he drills it.
Creighton is 4 of 6 from three-point range in this game, and the Blue Jays have opened up a 10-point lead. Inside 10 on the shot clock. Buchanan gets the bounce pass from Touré. Hook shot, and that's no good, and the Cyclones remain cold. Jay's on the run. Schwartz pulls up. Another three. That's good. And TJ Otzelberger wants a timeout. Iowa State is 0 for its last 9, and the Blue Jays have opened up a 21-8 lead midway through the first half, and the Blue Jays have done it by getting hot from outside.
Welcome back to Omaha, Nebraska. CHI Health Center rocking even for an exhibition game because of plays like this right here. Watch Ty Davis, number 5 in white. Look at the physical block out. He's able to get it and run. Keep his eyes up. On-time delivery on the cross-court skip pass to Austin Schwartz, who buries the triple. But it all starts with effort from Ty Davis on the defensive glass that gets the party started, as Creighton is now on a 17-0 run and feeling it from beyond the arc. 5 for 7 from 3 are the Blue Jays.
Creighton overall hitting 54% of its shots. Iowa State started 4 for 4, now down to 31%. They haven't made a basket in their last 9 tries.
Number 10, Hudson Greer.
Opening night of exhibition play. Good pass inside. Heisey has his shot blocked. Terrific play by Hudson Greer, who's come in off the bench. The coveted freshman from Texas.
Making your presence felt right away.
Look at that triple team. Good bounce pass. Trout scores off the glass and draws a foul.
Well, you can see the aggressiveness from Iowa State defensively, especially if that ball's on the baseline. There's going to be 2 or 3 defenders around him. First of all, what a play from Hudson Greer, the recovery. Look at all those Cyclones surrounding. If you're able to get rid of the ball without turning it over, you're going to have an opportunity because you have an advantage, and that's been the story so far. Creighton only has 1 turnover. And if Iowa State wants to get some of their offense going, I think they need to have their defense create their offense. That's been a big part of T.J. Otzelberger's recipe over the years in Ames.
And their defensive captain has now gone to the bench with 2 fouls, and that's Nate Heisey. Greer commits a foul, flying past Momcilovic. That's his first personal foul. Are you surprised to have just 1 turnover through the first 10 minutes of the game of your first exhibition?
Very. You expect turnovers in your first exhibition, even if you play in a team that isn't going to pressure you. And this is some high-level pressure from Iowa State. So I am very surprised, pleasantly surprised, I guess you could say, for how Creighton has handled the basketball.
Good pickup by Townley Thomas a moment ago. Left-handed hook shot by Jefferson, and Iowa State still can't find the bottom of the basket. 24-8 to score. Creighton on top. Trout steps back, flips it out to Graves, and his 3 is good. Well, this game's easy.
Yeah. It looks good when you're making shots, but this is how this team is built for the Blue Jays. There's a lot of shooting on the floor, oftentimes at all 5 positions.
Toure looking for some help. Gets it from Jefferson. Jefferson hasn't hit from inside in a while. Thought about outside. Bodies his way around Trout and puts up the shot and draws a foul.
All starts with Trout biting on the shot fake just slightly on the 3-point line that gets Jefferson the advantage, and then his strength takes over, able to just peck dribble his way all the way to the basket and draw a foul.
It's a 23-0 run over the last 7 minutes and 25 seconds.
This has been quite the shooting display from Creighton. It's not like it's just one guy either. It's multiple guys knocking down shots.
Jefferson's a 75% foul shooter a year ago. Trying to get the Cyclones into double digits. And he does.
And with Iowa State, I don't know if you could have fully expected smooth sailing right away, where Lipsey, Curtis Jones, Keyshawn Gilbert were your main backcourt guys a year ago. All 3 of them not on the floor. Obviously, 2 have graduated, and Lipsey's hurt.
Jason Green needs some help. Gets it from Graves. Creighton has hit its last 5 3-point tries. And that streak comes to an end. Good hustle by Greer, fighting for that rebound, and it goes out of bounds. He touched it last, but that's a good sign.
Yes, we talked to Coach McDermott before the game. We asked him, what do you want from Hudson Greer? He said, just continue to do what you've been doing and playing hard. And he's done just that. He's got a block shot. He's got a couple of rebounds. You think of a top 50 recruit. Is this guy going to come in and be a prima donna and think that you're just going to roll the red carpet out for him? No, this guy comes in, he plays hard every day in practice. And it's with the talents along with that work ethic, that's a great combination.
Didn't we hear somebody whisper to us before the game that Greer might be the best rebounder, at least in fall camp?
Yes, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Considering you're a freshman, but a lot of that's just effort.
Nice play by Graves. Finds Trout on the right wing. That shot's not good. There's Hudson Greer battling for the rebound again. Kept it alive in time for Schwartz. Good bounce pass. Greer's going to try a 3-pointer. That's off the mark, and uncontested rebound goes into the hands of Jefferson.
High quality look, though.
So after making 5 in a row, the Jays have missed 3. There's a long-range 3-point try by Jefferson, and that looked like a pickup shot. That goes out of bounds, and that's going to take us to a timeout, a tick under 8 minutes. At 7:59, and Creighton maintains a commanding early lead. 27-12 is our score. Here's 2 of the much-needed points the Cyclones have needed, coming from Momcilovic.
Well.
27-12 is the score. Creighton has the lead on Iowa State in this opening night of basketball at CHI Health Center in Omaha. With Nick Baugh, I'm Bill Dolman. Creighton fans are well aware that Ryan Kalkbrenner and Stephen Ashworth and Jemiah Neal are not walking through the door anymore, so there's a lot of new guys for Creighton fans to get excited about. 9 in all. Who really stands out and who stood out to you so far?
Well, Nick Graves, I think, has really come in and settled in. It was going to be important for him, given the way Iowa State plays, pressuring the ball, that he play well, and he has done just that. Schwartz, I thought, came in, made an impact. Really, every newcomer, I think, has done a lot of good things. And I think that was the number one thing Greg McDermott was curious to see. What is it going to look like taking it from the practice floor to the game floor? And it's looked pretty good for all these newcomers early on. But I think Graves is a guy that's, I don't want to say arguably the most important, Jay, but he really needs to have a good year.
Dix was left alone for that three-point try, and the rebound kicked around out of bounds. Creighton's going to maintain the possession. Now, one newcomer who we won't see tonight, and hopefully Jays fans will see the next couple of weeks, is Owen Freeman, the other transfer from the University of Iowa.
Well, think about all the three-point shooting right now, and then think about Freeman anchoring it inside. I mean, that's going to be the predicament that teams are in and how you're defending the Blue Jays. But Freeman is my bet to lead the team in scoring. I mean, he's a big-time scorer and can do it in a lot of different ways.
Ganon works his way out of the double team. Dix, nice move around Jefferson, put up a tough shot, last touch by Jefferson, and another possession for Creighton in their end. It's 7:23 remaining in the opening half.
Josh Dix, good hard drive, but great verticality from Momcilovic at the rim.
Inbounded to Harper. Harper's a native of Washington, D.C. It mentioned played at Howard in the MEAC. He was the Rookie of the Week every week last season, en route to being not just the Rookie of the Year, but the Player of the Year as a true freshman. Shoots this one up with 2 seconds on the shot clock, and that rainbow is off the mark. And another rebound to Jefferson, his third.
Great defensive possession from the Cyclones.
And he dribbled it off his foot. Dix has it, gets it to Harper, took a long drive and laid it up and in spectacular fashion.
It's really hard to cock it back like you're going to dunk it, but then have the control to then go lay it softly off the window. His consistency, you said, his consistency scoring the ball as a freshman at Howard was impressive.
19 points per game.
And 5 30-point games as well. So he's capable of big nights.
Momcilovic in the corner with 3 seconds on the shot clock, off the mark, and the rebound to Harper.
See, this is his versatility. With his size, he can handle it. He's a good passer.
Cross court, back to Harper. Back in the right corner, that shot off the mark by Davis. Kate Kelderman has come into the lineup, 13 for Iowa State. Momcilovic trying to create some space, and the fadeaway is no good from inside the lane. For a guy who has the green light to shoot from anywhere near the three-point arc and maybe 10 feet back, he hasn't taken many three-pointers, Momcilovic. No. Pace is getting sluggish.
They need Momcilovic to get more aggressive, and this guy as well. And without Lipsy, someone's got to take it upon themselves to create some offense. Not saying you have a license to take bad shots, but you got to start putting your foot in the gas a little bit.
Foul on Killian Toure away from the ball. That's team foul number 6 on Iowa State. Just 4 whistles so far against Creighton, and the Blue Jays maintain a 17-point lead.
Well, certainly the 6 made threes are a big part of the game for Creighton, but the 1 turnover, I think, is the biggest thing. Creighton's taking care of the ball, and again, Iowa State, that's really their calling card. It's defense, creating offense, and disrupting you on this end of the floor.
Davis in a duel with Bateman. Shot clock gets down to 10. 5 minutes remaining in the half. Trout in the corner. Sidesteps around Momcilovic. Ganon in the lane. Gets that to softly go through.
It's a great play from Trout, and a play I'm not sure he could have made a year or two ago. He was able to shot fake, sidestep the defender, and drive under control and get an assist.
Nelson gets free and scores off the glass. Nice play by Dominic Nelson, a senior out of Miami.
He's the WAC Player of the Year at Utah Valley, a guy that they're going to need Nelson to come along and provide a punch attacking the rim.
Good strong move by Quinnan.
Quinnan really moves well for a guy at his size.
6'9", 235 pounds. And Nelson draws some contact, and that's going to be the 15th foul on Creighton. Foul is called on Dix.
That's what Nelson can do. He can put his foot on the gas and draw a foul. Last year, he got to the free throw line 237 times. That was 17th nationally in terms of free throw attempts a game. So they're needing his athleticism driving the ball to the basket. The biggest thing that TJ Altenberger said they were looking for with Nelson is defensive consistency.
Gotta buy in.
Yes.
And at Iowa State, you gotta buy in to the defense.
If you're not going to defend and play hard, you're not going to play for TJ Altenberger. It's non-negotiable.
Well, he gets to the line a lot, but TJ told us he's up and down from the line, and that case in point goes 1 for 2. 33-15, a commanding lead. Iowa State has just 2 field goals over the last 12 minutes of game time. 2 for 17 that stretch. Dix kicks it back out to Trout. Blake Harper's going to try a 3, and that rattles in.
Seven made threes.
Good strong move to the basket by Torre. 3.5 to play in the opening half. Harper's going to try a 3 again. There's contact. That's a foul on Bateman after the shot. That's going to send him to the free throw line when we come back. It is all Blue Jays right now, 36-17. Kerem Quinnan has had a good start to his Creighton career, scoring 2 and leading the Blue Jays to a 19-point lead. Beautiful night in Omaha, Nebraska. Good night to be inside for the start of the college basketball season, and it's a great start for the Creighton Blue Jays, who lead Iowa State 36-17. Cyclones have 9 newcomers on their roster. They lost a couple of great players off last year's team. We talked about Jefferson in the open, but Momcilovic has to be a factor from the outside, and they need Taman Lipsey back. I think that's been evident.
Yeah, and Lipsey's all Big 12 defensive team 2 years in a row, and they could use that defense right now to create things offensively for them in transition and in the half court. So Lipsey's absence is huge. It's just unfortunate a year ago. We really felt like Iowa State was poised to make a run in the NCAA tournament. Then the injury bug just bit them, in particular in the backcourt. You certainly need guards in March, and unfortunately their guards were hurt.
Losing Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert, their top 2 scorers, and the injuries, they were troublesome and just manifested all that second half of the season.
Correct.
And a team that had championship hopes in March and thinking about the Final Four just didn't materialize because of injury. They won 25 games last year, did the Cyclones, 25-10. Good move to the basket by Nelson, and he's got a chance at a 3-point play. Count the basket. That foul is called on Nick Graves.
Again, you're talking about a conference player of the year at Utah Valley, the WAC player of the year, and that's what he does. Just really good at going north and south, putting pressure on the defense, initiating contact. That's what they're going to need from him all season long.
Not big numbers for a conference player of the year. 14 points, 5 rebounds.
Certainly, Utah Valley was winning a lot to the victor go the spoils, and Nelson certainly played a big role in that.
Torre back out top on Graves. Good little one-on-one duel going on between those two. Torrey, nice defense. Shot clock worked its way inside 10. And Greer gets the dunk on the loose ball.
About 20 seconds of dribbling from great one-on-one defense from Torrey, but that defense can get overextended, and if you don't communicate, it can be trouble.
Bateman, a long-range three, back iron no good. Buchanan has it slapped out of his hand by Townley Thomas.
See, when that ball gets on the sideline, you put two on the ball. If you don't rotate and talk, somebody's going to be open. And unfortunately, the first place you got to take away is the basket. And that's where Hudson Greer goes. Good feel with the cut to the paint in front of the rim. Pretty good athleticism to get to the top floor quickly, too, for Greer.
Both teams at the 7 foul mark, so we're going to be shooting free throws with each whistle the last 2:38. And it's Blake Buchanan who'll go to the line here. Transfer from Virginia, played 2 years there. And that rims out no good. Townley Thomas wrestles the ball away from Jefferson. And it's Zugic who comes away with it. Greer in the corner, that's no good. Easy rebound for Momcilovic. Nelson, that's a hard shot to make on the drive.
Go through the body of Austin Swartz, who's not a little guard, just displaced him and kept going north and south. Nice surge here from Nelson late.
He has 8 points to lead the Cyclones. Harper has 8 to lead the Jays. Graves gets some contact, tips it back up and in. Good hustle play by Nick Graves. That gives him 8.
Nice quick jump from Nick Graves.
He's a senior out of Durham, North Carolina.
Tough matchup. Hudson Greer's got his hands full here.
Did a nice job for the moment. Momcilovic has it stripped away, and a whistle and a foul, and that'll send him back to the free throw line.
Bill, Dominic Nelson, we've been saying it. His ability to drive, his ability to play through contact and draw contact. Look at this, and it's going right through the body of Swartz. When you're backpedaling, you're in trouble with Nelson. And look at the quick second jump. Smallest guy in the area, no problem. Nick Graves able to tip it in.
Yeah, Graves goes 6'2", Momcilovic 6'8", and Graves got the tip. Momcilovic back to the free throw line, shooting the front end of the 1-and-1, and that's good.
Wasn't it cool to listen to Coach Otzelberger talk about how much aggression he wants from this guy, shooting the ball? Just relentlessly attacking transition threes off the bounce, just really being aggressive to score.
Just 1 for 2 that trip. 20-point lead for the Jays. Inside a minute and a half remaining in the opening period. Townley Thomas left alone at the free throw line. Kicks it to Greer in the corner. That shot's too long. And the rebound pulled down by Nelson. Here come the Cyclones. Momcilovic. Bateman goes inside to Jefferson. Spins on Townley Thomas. Spins again, and is called for traveling.
How about Townley Thomas? One-on-one against Jefferson. Doesn't bite on any fakes, plays with physicality. You're talking about a walk-on, really battling. It's an impressive sequence.
I think they called him for 3 seconds. You could have called him for 30 steps.
Yeah.
Either one, good pick by Townley Thomas. Gene Graves play catch. Dribbles into a trio of Cyclones. Zugic sends it out to Swartz. Inside a minute remaining in the opening period. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Somebody's got to do something, and it's going to be Graves. Left-hander puts up the shot and in. He's got 11. And he's 3 for 4 from three-point range.
Really impressed with Nick Graves.
Game clock is off, or the shot clock is off. The game clock down to 13 seconds and winding down in what has been a very good opening half of basketball for the Creighton Blue Jays. Momcilovic puts up the 3. That's no good. Rebound put back up and in. That's too strong. Graves has it, and that's how the first half comes to an end. Well, this is an exhibition game. It's unofficial. But Creighton looks pretty good out of the gate tonight in Omaha, opening up a 46-23 lead on the Iowa State Cyclones at the break. Welcome back to the CHI Health Center in Omaha with Nick Baugh. I'm Bill Dolman. Creighton has a 46-23 lead on Iowa State in exhibition game number 1 of the 25-26 season. Council Bluffs native and former Iowa guard Josh Dix has returned home to finish his college career with Creighton. Now in his final year of eligibility, Josh is fulfilling a dream that began in the stands as a kid.
It's been a seamless transition. He's been a great teammate. You know what you're going to get from him every single day. He comes and he competes.
Senior Josh Dix has enjoyed success at the highest level of college basketball. The Council Bluffs native originally took his talents to the University of Iowa.
I feel like it helped me become the person I am today. I want to thank Coach McCaffrey. He helped me a lot. Overall, it was a really fun experience playing in the Big Ten and against all those teams.
After his former coach, Fran McCaffrey, was let go by the Hawkeyes, it was time for Josh to find a new home.
My teammates were leaving, all the guys that I built bonds with over the years, and it kind of made the decision for me to, stay pretty hard. I wanted to enter the portal and go somewhere else.
Obviously, he had a lot of interest, some of the top schools in the country. I think him, growing up, going to Creighton games and sitting in the stands as a young child, watching us play, and then, having the opportunity to come back home and finish his college career in front of family and friends, I think was a natural fit.
The hospitality from the players and the coaches, I was only here for like a day, but I could just tell that they really care. Just being from around this area, I know how Omaha treats Creighton basketball and how much they care about it.
The Jays have taken the lead.
The returners have carried a big burden, trying to get everyone acclimated to the team, but I feel like off the court we're always just hanging out with each other, different groups at different times, different people, just depending on, what we're doing, and I feel like that really helps the team chemistry.
Now in his final season of eligibility, Josh looks to make an impact on his new team.
I'll be shocked and disappointed if Josh isn't playing a very important role for us, just because he's done it. He's done it at a high level at Iowa, and it has really improved his game in every facet from year to year to year. Josh is he's incredibly complete. He scores the basketball in a lot of different ways. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And then he embraces the defensive end of the floor as well. My hope is Josh really evolves into a leader on our team. It's difficult to do when you come in as a one-year player. Everything's new to you as well. And, Coach Mack is harping on you to try to have a louder voice and be more of a leader.
Getting to don the blue and white has been a dream of Josh's since he was a young boy, and no one is prouder than his pops.
I think he would be ecstatic. Yeah, I grew up, my dad was a season ticket holder. He worked at Creighton, so we would go to as many games as we can when they were in the Missouri Valley. And, just coming to play for them, my last year eligibility, I think he'd be amazed.
Well, welcome home, Josh. He's one of 11 Blue Jays to play in the first half. 2 points in 11 minutes of action in his Blue Jay debut. Creighton doubling up on Iowa State, 46-23 at halftime.
Thank you.
With Nick Baugh, I'm Bill Dolman. Welcome back to the CHI Health Center in Omaha for this exhibition matchup between the Creighton Blue Jays and the Iowa State Cyclones. Two teams ranked in the preseason top 25 heading into 25-26. So far, Creighton has lived up to billing, leading at 46-23. Nick Graves with it, trying to work his way away from a couple of Cyclones, trying to chase him down, and it's picked away by Toure.
Too much dribbling from Graves.
Momcilovic. And there's contact and a whistle, and Momcilovic is called for the foul. It's good defense by Blake Harper. Not a lot of contact.
No, just anticipating and beating the man to the spot was Blake Harper's plan on that one. And we'll see if the Cyclones can sink their teeth into Creighton defensively in this second half. Sometimes there's a cumulative effect with this kind of pressure.
No look pass into the corner. Harper tries a three. Back iron no good. Toure has the rebound.
It's a good under control play though from Josh Dix.
Buchanan off the miss, has it poked out of his hands. Last touched by Creighton. Should tell you our officials, Mike Roberts, Lamar Simpson, and Tony Chiazza, getting some early season work. Momcilovic, that's what they want him to do. Take those shots whenever you feel like you have the opportunity. Harper puts it up as he's falling down, got the rebound from his wallet. Out of bounds, last touch by Iowa State.
That'd have been quite the rebound and assist for Blake Harper if that had worked out for him.
Even better if he shot it from there.
That's right.
How's that thing going to look on the shot chart? Graves and Green. Here's Harper, Trout, and Dix starting for the Blue Jays in white. Harper trying to shake free from Momcilovic. Wow. And over Buchanan and in for two.
I think you're going to see that play a lot from Creighton on a baseline out of bounds situation. Just throw it to Blake Harper and get out of his way. I mean, he's really good ISO'd at the free throw line.
Jefferson looked good early on, using a lot of that weight advantage. Clears some space but missed the shot.
He's gotten to his spots. He's just missed a lot of shots around the hoop.
He's now 2 for 7 from the floor. I think he hit his first 2. There's a long-range 3 by Dix. That's no good. Jefferson pulls down the rebound.
A mismatch here. Just take your time if you're Jefferson.
Momcilovic hands it off to Toure, who drives the lane. That shot's no good, and we've got another whistle.
Late whistle on that one.
And that foul is on Green.
You see, just taking his time, probing, stepping through. That's a little bit of his versatility. He's really good in those spots. He draws fouls as well. He's a capable passer, so if you send help, he can make plays. He was second nationally in free throw attempts per game, was Blake Harper a year ago. You got a lot of guys on the floor that were good at getting to the free throw line.
Kylian Toure at the free throw line, freshman out of France. Played at Brewster Academy, and he gets the second shot to settle in. Brewster Academy, one of the great prep schools out east. Top 5, top 3 last year. He averaged 9 points and 3 rebounds per game. Trout driving the lane, a lot of contact. That's Momcilovic, who's going to send him to the free throw line.
I know Trout's missed it, a couple of his three-point attempts, but he's done a better job ripping and going. People are going to try and run him off the three-point line because that's what he does as a player. He's a catch-and-shoot guy, but he's able to at least make the defense pay for out-of-control closeouts.
16 of 17 from the free throw line last year was Trout. Averaged about 16 minutes a game for Greg McDermott. Substitution coming in. Dominic Nelson will come into the lineup along with Dominiscus Plata for Iowa State.
Let's see if Nelson can start the second half the way he ended the first half for Iowa State. He really did a nice job as that half wore on, driving the ball to the basket and making things happen. He's got the ball now.
Leads Iowa State with 8 points so far. Here's Jefferson, who made his first 2 field goal attempts of the game and had been shut out since then. He gets that turnaround jumper to fall. Quickly come the Blue Jays. Trout shook Jefferson, did not put a shot. Here's Harper. Green got free. Graves gets it into the corner for Trout, and there's contact from Heisey.
And you see Greg McDermott yelling at Isaac Trout, shoot the ball. You got to be ready to shoot it. And I think even though he's missed some shots, I think the ball needs to continue to go to Jefferson. I think if Creighton's not going to come with any sort of dig or double team, Jefferson's going to be able to take his time and get to his spots. But Trout's got to be ready to shoot, Bill. That's been a couple of times I've praised his ability to rip and go, but he's got to be ready to catch and shoot as well.
He hit 38 of 99 three-pointers a year ago. Here Jefferson in transition. create some space and miss the layup. He was worried about keeping Green away from him and forgot to make the shot.
And Green did a good job of not bailing Jefferson out with a foul. And that's something Creighton has been excellent at. Lead the country the last couple of years in fewest fouls per game. I think that's going to continue to be an emphasis. It's situations like that, though, where Creighton's really disciplined and not hacking down and fouling.
Graves in a double team. A lot of physicality. He found Dix. Nice move to the basket, but he came up short. Got it back and put that one up and in.
It all starts with Graves just muscling his way out of a double team. That's something I think T.J. Otzelberger probably wasn't too pleased with. When a double team is put on, it's got to be strong and it's got to be disruptive. I don't think Iowa State's doubles have been good enough.
Nelson backs it out. Plata picks Graves off of Nelson, and Nelson misses the shot. Graves the rebound, and here comes Creighton. Graves on the run. Got challenged by Nelson, and Nelson fouled him.
He's just a really under control player, isn't he? He's always playing at his speed. And they're just probing in transition. No one really stopping him.
Graves will head to the free throw line. Last year, his numbers are just astounding for Graves. Well, at Charlotte, last year was 180 of 233 free throw attempts.
233 for a 6'2" guard. Yeah. That's real. It's one thing if a big guy's getting fouled all the time. He clearly is able to change speeds. He knows how to get the defense a little off balance, initiate contact. Between him and Harper took 268 free throws a year ago. Those two guys really know how to get to the line.
Well, unless you think that Graves only shoots a lot from the free throw line, he also put up 403 field goal attempts.
Right.
And 186 of them were from behind the arc. So you got a couple of guys on this Creighton roster that like to shoot the rock.
No doubt.
From anywhere. Momcilovic can't get free on that low paint. Nice job defensively by Dix. And Plata got away from Conan and was able to get the basket.
Good effort play from Plata. Need a couple of those. Some offensive rebound putbacks, some turnovers and transition baskets.
Well, you can see why they say Touré's a great defender.
Takes pride in it. Loves to play defense.
Well, he'll fit in pretty well at Iowa State because that's what they want to see. Dix pulls up for three, and that's off the mark. Jefferson the rebound. Contact, and the pass thrown away. Dix comes the other way. Over to Schwartz, who's into the game. He comes up short on the three-point try. Plata pulls down the rebound. 54-28, Creighton. Momcilovic, that's what they want him to do when he missed the shot.
That was the exact kind of shot that T. Otzelberger was talking about.
Taken away from Dix. Jefferson taps it over to Nelson. That shot's no good. Jefferson follows it up, and we've got a foul on the play. Kind of rag, kind of tag with the last couple of minutes. Neither team able to do much scoring, but we've got a timeout here in the second half in Omaha with Creighton on top 54-28. With Nick Baugh and Bill Dolman, 54-28 is our score. The Creighton Blue Jays in command of this exhibition contest against the Iowa State Cyclones. And well, there's one of the all-time greats, not just at Creighton, but in college basketball, one of the great shooters of all time, Kyle Korver.
Yeah, one of the greatest shooters to ever live, period. And he's 8th all-time in NBA history in three-point field goals made. Was an all-star in Atlanta, and certainly one of the most beloved Blue Jays. You really can't tell the story of Creighton basketball without talking about Kyle Korver. He's now in the front office with Atlanta. It's always good to see Kyle back in Omaha. What a career.
And I think he played for every single NBA team that there is.
Almost, no doubt about it.
If you can shoot, you got a job.
Shooters are like bacon. They go with everything. You know, that's my line all the time, and that's certainly what Kyle Korver was.
And the way he looks right now, if they want to give him one of those 10-day contracts.
Man, doesn't he? He looks like he could come off a staggered screen and knock him down right now, doesn't he?
Jefferson at the free throw line makes both attempts, and that gets Iowa State to the 30-point mark, but a big deficit with 14.5 left to play. These two teams, by the way, will see each other again in just about a month or so. They'll be playing in Las Vegas on November 25th. And that's a foul on Conan on the pick.
Yeah, that adds an interesting wrinkle to this matchup, though. At the same time, they've scrimmaged each other. I think this is the 4th time they've scrimmaged each other, was what Coach Otzelberger was telling us. So there really are no secrets necessarily with pet plays and different things. But it definitely does add an interesting component to things with needing to meet each other again here in just over a month.
Momcilovic is now 0 for 6 from three-point range. Now, TJ told us before the game, yes, we told him he can shoot it whenever and wherever at any time, and he might go 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, but the next thing you know, he might hit 4 or 5 in a row. Well, they're waiting for that streak. Here's Nelson. Contact with Jason Green, and that foul's going to go against Creighton.
You figured offense would maybe be difficult for Iowa State tonight with no Taman Lipsey. Again, Curtis Jones, Keyshawn Gilbert, who were huge sources of your offense a year ago. And, you know, Momcilovic is trying to go from 11 points per game to, TJ Otzelberger said, maybe 15, 16 points per game. And when a guy that you're depending on to score is just having a tough night shooting the ball, obviously your offense is going to suffer.
Nelson too strong. You go back to last year, Curtis Jones averaged 17.5 points per game. Keyshawn Gilbert, 13 points per game for Iowa State. They're gone.
Yeah.
As is their presence on the floor. And now with Lipsey, he should be back. And if this had not been an exhibition game, he might have played.
You had your two offensive scorers in Jones and Gilbert, and then Lipsey could score, but he also was your tone setter defensively. You're talking about an all Big 12 defense guy, and so his defense would create easier offense for the Cyclones as well. So just a lot of components to scoring the ball for Iowa State.
Iowa State in a double team, and Nelson bear hug Schwartz from behind and is called for the foul. But if points are hard to come by from Iowa State, you got to believe that Otzelberger is going to say, all right, we are just going to turn it up defensively. And that might be the strategy for the year.
Oftentimes, your offense can be tied to your defense and vice versa. So I think right now you need to turn it up on this end of the floor if you're Iowa State, to play in transition and see if you can't create some easy baskets off of creating live ball turnovers.
Fedor Zugic goes inside to Townley Thomas. And Bateman gets the loose ball. Here's Toure. Bateman down the lane. Challenge on the shot. That's a tough one. Nice job defensively by Townley Thomas. He's been really good off the bench. That ball is picked out of the air by Nelson. Leaves it ahead for Bateman. Nice pass over to Heisey. That's the best offensive sequence that we've seen from Iowa State since the first couple of minutes.
But it starts off of a turnover. It's defense creating that offense.
And we were talking about turnovers in the first half. They're starting to climb up a little bit. Now 7 turnovers for Creighton, 6 for Iowa State. But for a game with so many newcomers on both rosters, for them to be as in sync as they were in the first half anyway, is pretty remarkable that those numbers were so low.
I completely agree.
Nice lay-in by Green. And he wants a break.
You got some tired dudes on the floor as well. And so that's why I talked about that pressure being cumulative. Okay, you handled the double teams and the pressure for the first 15, 20 minutes. Well, what does that look like 25, 30 minutes into the game?
Toure gets bailed out by Bateman. Here's Heisey. Played 3 years at Northern Iowa. Nelson down the lane, challenged on the shot, and a rebound by Buchanan, an easy dunk for the putback.
Another great drive, though, from Nelson. I know he didn't get the layup to go, but he created the rotation rebound.
Foul is called on Killian Touré. And that'll take us to another media timeout with 11:49 left to play. Creighton still in control. And there's that pick by Nelson and ahead to Bateman, and a good finish by Heisman. 56-35, Creighton has the lead on the Iowa State Cyclones. You see those numbers next to the team names. Iowa State, preseason number 16, Creighton number 23. One thing that these two teams have done relatively well is take care of the basketball, although the numbers are climbing just a little bit here in the second half.
Well, Creighton's the one to keep an eye on, because Iowa State, they forced 15 turnovers a game last year and did a good job taking care of the ball in the first half, built a pretty big lead. Second half been a little bit more sloppy, and Iowa State has been able to cut into the lead just a little bit.
Well, that might be TJ Otzelberger's strategy for the remaining minutes in this game is, all right, we may not come back from the deficit, but we can sure make Creighton earn whatever they're going to get from here on out. Zugic tries a three, that's no good. Three-pointer, no good. Zugic flies in to get the dunk on the putback.
A better athlete than you think, Fedor Zugic.
Izzy got free, lays it in off the glass.
But you can see, I know the last Creighton possession ended in a bucket, but it was totally off schedule and frantic. And the Cyclones obviously are the main culprit for creating that with their pressure.
Bateman sends Davis to the floor. Now, there was a bit of a rumor before the game that perhaps this exhibition, as we take a look at Zugic getting that offensive rebound and the putback dunk, there was talk that perhaps there would not be
fouls.
Fouling out.
Yeah.
That the players wouldn't foul out tonight. We were both intrigued by that as to what we would see, and I think if there were no foul outs, it'd probably be more like the Road Warrior or something like that. Thunderdome out here. Especially if it's Iowa State.
I was going to say, if there's one team that would welcome no fouls, you say? Deal. The way Iowa State plays, physical, in the ball, double teaming it. And Greg McDermott, we joked saying that to him. He quickly said, "Who'll be shooting free throws?"
I don't think that they've agreed to that format. But,
not yet, at least.
That would have been intriguing.
It would have been.
Jefferson, he's got 10 in the game. Give him 12 and a free throw coming.
Just more like Iowa State basketball to start this second half. Just a little bit more purpose and teeth to their defense, and just offensively come up with more of these 50-50 balls.
Shea Thomas has come into the lineup for Creighton. Where's number 12? First time we've seen him. Zugic with the basketball now. 20-point Creighton lead. Also in is Liam McChesney. Wears 13. Here he is. Driving down, spinning around. Jump hook no good. And ball goes out of bounds, and that's going to be an Iowa State possession. Well, foul is called there.
Liam McChesney is a seventh-year junior. You heard that right. Seventh-year junior, just been injury-riddled. He was at High Point the last 2 years and got hurt both years.
Buchanan gets some contact from McChesney. And that ball last touched by Iowa State. It'll be Creighton basketball. McChesney began his career in 2020 at Utah State and did not play. Spent a couple of years at Illinois State where he started part-time. Found his way to High Point where he played for Alan Huss. Alan Huss gets the job here. He's still got some eligibility. Knows the system, I assume, by really, really well. Can be kind of a coach on the floor, an extra voice in the practice room. And he brought him with him to Creighton. That's remarkable.
You summed that up perfectly, because there's a lot with the Liam McChesney story and journey. That was well done, because there's a lot to it.
Liam's is from Canada.
He's got to be excited to be healthy and on the floor.
You see that left shoulder is all wrapped up, so there might be some lingering effects of one of those injuries.
No doubt.
Shot clock down to 3. Schwartz pulls up and hits a 3 and gives a kiss to the crowd.
But keep in mind with Schwartz, he was on Miami's team last year, and they fired their coach early on. I should say retired. And so their season was kind of just a mess for the whole season because of that. So I don't really put any stock in anything that did or didn't happen with him at Miami. This guy can play. He is talented.
McChesney with Buchanan way out on him at the circle. Now Schwartz spins out of a double team. McChesney to Greer, who's come in. He comes up way short on that 3-point try.
Well, he never fully caught it clean when he went up with it.
Bateman. That's a tough shot. And Greer has another rebound. We were talking about Greer at halftime during one of the breaks. Both impressed by his presence on the floor, and that just does not look lost on the floor, like he fits right in.
Sometimes freshmen have that, they look like they're swimming in it mentally and physically. He does not seem that way at all. I think a lot of that starts with his body, though. He's strong.
And that's a good, strong move by Jefferson to get the basket over Thomas. And we've got a timeout taken with 8:13 left to play. And that's a timeout to get some substitutions on the floor. And there's that 3 that hit the bottom of the net as the shot clock wound down. 62-43 Creighton. Nick, we talked about Nick Graves in the open, that he could be an impact player, and he leads Creighton with 13 points.
He's really looked good. He's handled the ball well, and he's made the good decisions, and that's led to some open opportunities for him. He's just really taken what the defense has given him. When there's presented opportunities to shoot threes, he's done that. When he's able to hit seams, he's been able to make plays, and you know he's talented with the ball. Figured he was going to have to be one of the most important, if not the most important newcomer, just because that point guard position is so paramount. And Graves has looked terrific through the first 32 minutes as a J.
A trio of newcomers lead the way for Creighton in the scoring column. Graves has those 13, Harper 10, Schwartz has 9. A touch foul by Toure, poking it away from Shane Thomas.
Toure just is feisty on the ball, isn't he? And that was an example of what TJ Otzelberger talked to us about, saying that the biggest thing we have to do with him is he's got to be able to be disruptive without fouling. Now that one was close. He might have caught that one clean, but you can just tell for a young player, he really takes pride in it.
It's the 8th team foul on Iowa State in the half, so Creighton is shooting the 1-and-1. The Blue Jays have been whistled 6 times. And the lefty's second shot is off the mark, and Jefferson has the rebound. Joshua Jefferson leads all scorers in this game with 14 points, 5 of 11 from the floor. That was his 8th rebound, so he's nearing a double-double.
He's done a much better second half scoring the ball.
Silovich fades away and gets that to go down. He has 7. On, hands it to Dix, who's back into the game. Nifty move by Harper, but dribble into a double team. Dix goes in the corner. Nice catch by Trout. Good to be 6'10".
Yeah.
Dix off the mark. And a whistle and a foul. And that may be going against Plata of Iowa State, and it is. And that'll be his 3rd foul. And that foul takes us to another media timeout, or does it? And now it does. So we got a break. With 7:13 left to play. There were some bookkeeping problems.
Exhibition game even for the timekeepers.
Creighton cheerleaders are all smiles, and they had a good crowd to perform in front of tonight. 15,971 in attendance for a game that doesn't count in the win-loss column, but
amazing, isn't it?
Good show. Yeah.
It's been top 10 nationally in attendance for a long time here, and it's been a huge reason for Creighton's success. They've been hard to beat in this building because they pack it out.
Going on at the free throw line, hitting the front end of the delayed 1-and-1. 19 fouls on Iowa State. Next one will send Creighton to the line for 2. Blue Jays 16 fouls. Conan's second one is on the way. It is also good. Terrific pickup from Turkey.
Yes.
Played on several of those under 18, under 19 basketball teams for his home nation, playing at high-level European Cup-type tournaments. This little foul that's going to send Jefferson back to the free throw line. Foul is called on Josh Dix.
Because of revenue sharing and NIL, you're seeing more players like Fedor Zugic, like Karam Conan, come over to America and play college basketball. Because they have a professional career opportunities overseas, but now you can do, I guess, the similar thing here in Division I NCAA college basketball.
Inside 7 minutes remaining. Into the corner, nice catch by Harper. Iowa State, by the way, has still not hit a three-point shot in this game.
0 for 12.
Trout's going to try to hit one here, and he comes up short. And the rebound to Plata. Cleared to Heisey. A very quiet night for Nate Heisey, wearing number 0. Momcilovic, that's no good. He's now 3 for 12 from the floor. On the run, Harper spins and misses, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Just got multiple guys for Creighton that can get a rebound and push it themselves. Multiple guys that can handle the ball, make plays, get downhill. This guy being one of them, Blake Harper.
It was a nice little golf clap from Greg McDermott.
That was good, wasn't it? Didn't want to disturb Blake Harper's free throw routine, I guess.
Missed them both. Harper last year, 82% from the free throw line, and Nick gave you the numbers a moment ago. He was 221 of 268.
Goodness, 268 free throw attempts.
He's a human media timeout. Momcilovic goes off the glass and scores.
You don't have to just settle for just jump shots if you're Momcilovic. You can attack the basket. It was a nice advantage he had on Dixon. He took it.
Mentioning the three-point woes for Iowa State, Creighton was 8 of 18 in the first half, just 1 for 11 so far in the second half. Trout doesn't get that shot away, and they finally make one. He finally makes one. Trout was 0 for 3, is 0 for 3 in the game.
Good job here. Just, again, Creighton has shown they're not going to come with double teams. You might have guys digging down a little bit, but take your time, get to your spots. And whether it's Jefferson or whoever one-on-one in the post, you're going to be able to get the shot that you want.
Austin Swartz comes back into the game, replacing Josh Dix. Jefferson's going to bring it across for Iowa State. Momcilovic, Plata, Nelson, and Toure on the floor for TJ Otzelberger. That shot front end's no good. Toure battling hard. Nice basket. Creighton's lead is down to 14, 65-51.
Just chipping away at this thing. TJ Otzelberger said, we want to win at everything we do. I know this is an exhibition, but there's some competitiveness permeating from that Cyclone bench.
Swartz back into a corner, throws it through the double team. And Conam's pass is picked away, and then you've got contact at the half-court line.
Yeah, I know a part of this is Creighton's trying to play a lot of different guys, but it's amazing how much better Creighton handled the ball in the first half compared to this second half. And you got to tip your cap to the Cyclones, a much better double team. If you're going to be a team that puts 2 on the ball, you better make the 2 guys active and disruptive. They've done that in this second half.
And that foul is on Harper. 18 fouls against Creighton now, so we're shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way. And the lead's been as big as 23 down to 14. Nelson doesn't help out the Cyclones' cause, missing that free throw. And it's poked away from Harper, last touch by Nelson. Creighton basketball with 4:41 left to play. Creighton's going to have another exhibition game. They'll take on Colorado State on the 25th. That game is a 6 p.m. start right here in Omaha. Iowa State usually doesn't play these types of exhibition games in front of packed houses like this. They've been content to play those closed-door scrimmages, oftentimes against Creighton, either in Omaha or in Ames. Rebound tapped out to Gray. Jefferson moves on Trout, leaves it for Momcilovic. Buchanan rockets that one in off the glass. 65-53.
Just chipping away at it.
Townley Thomas needs some help.
Just a lot of ball handlers getting stuck right now, either in double teams or on the sideline.
That's off the mark, and another rebound for Jefferson, who has a double-double tonight. He's taking it all the way, and there's a whistle and a foul. And that's going to go against Creighton, and that's going to take us to another timeout. Getting a little tighter here in Omaha. Swartz has helped the home team's cause. He's been hot from 3, but it's a 65-12 Creighton lead with 3:37 left to play. Mentioned a moment ago that Creighton has another exhibition game coming up against Colorado State on the 25th. They'll open up the season for real against South Dakota. And how about that Game 2 test coming up on the 11th?
Like a trip to Spokane to get things challenging for you right out the gates for the Creighton Blue Jays. And, of course, that Player Heirs Festival, that's where Creighton will play Iowa State again on November 25th and Baylor as well.
Jefferson at the free throw line as we resume play. It's an 8-0 run currently for Iowa State as they've made this thing a little bit more interesting and uncomfortable for the home team. He missed them both, got the rebound back, gets blocked, has it stripped away, and he's going to go back to the free throw line. Townley Thomas is the one whistled for the foul, the junior from Omaha Creighton Prep.
Greg McDermott's beside himself. Someone's got to be checking out the shooter. And that's one of the #1 things you talk about defensively at the free throw line. Who's got the shooter? Who's pinching on the other side? Where you, by pinching, you got 2 guys blocking out 1 guy.
After missing 2, Jefferson makes 2. And now he's got 18 in the game, 8 of 11 from the free throw line. He also has 12 rebounds. It's a 14-3 run for Iowa State, and the lead is down to 10, 65-55.
Still have not made a 3. 0 for 13 from 3 is Iowa State.
Green tries to make a 3 there, and that's off the mark, rolling off the rim. Momcilovic got in a lot of trouble and somehow got bailed out by Buchanan. 65-57. And Iowa State takes a quick timeout. They're going to bring Plata into the lineup. with 2:52 left to play, and this thing has changed pretty dramatically. And speaking of changes, at some point in the near future, there will be a new head coach at Creighton, and the man will be Alan Huss. We already know that. He's the head coach in waiting.
So certainly a unique situation, but Alan Huss was just too good of a coach in the eyes of Marcus Blossom and Greg McDermott that they felt like they needed to get him back in Omaha and a path for him to be the eventual head coach. The timeline of it, who knows? But the one thing you do know is that is a big-time coach right there. What he did at High Point in 2 years was very impressive. And you see, he took High Point to their first NCAA tournament in school history last year. Obviously played here, played for Dana Altman, was an assistant coach for 6 years. That is going to be the future head man in Omaha, Alan Huss.
Really is a remarkable situation engineered by Greg McDermott and the administration at Creighton to pull that off. Very good offensive coach. Alan Huss has a tremendous reputation when it comes to putting points on the board. And not to make too much of a comparison to it, but Terry Pettit, who built the Nebraska volleyball program, knew that one day he would retire, and he handpicked John Cook, who had developed Wisconsin into a Final Four volleyball program, and said, I want you to come back and be an assistant. After taking his team to near the top of college volleyball, Cook did it, and things turned out pretty well for Nebraska volleyball. Things could have to turn out pretty well for Creighton, too.
I would think, absolutely, that's a very good comparison. And certainly with the transfer portal, too, your roster can get completely gutted if you have a coaching change. And I think that was one thing that was in mind with this, just making sure that whenever that transition happens, that things are just a little more intact.
Good pass inside to Green. Nice job by Graves. He worked around 3 Iowa State trees and found the open player.
Back-to-back good plays from Nick Graves when you needed it. A little bit of a stop the bleeding 2-possession stretch there with 2 layups.
Jefferson comes up short. Plata battles for the rebound with Green. And that's a whistle and a foul that's going to go against Jason Green.
Again, it's about being able to handle that double team. Once you get out of that double team, you got a numbers advantage. And just take your pick. And he picks Jason Green, who dunks it. But it starts with Graves handling the pressure.
He had 90 assists last year in Charlotte, did Graves. Played it to the line. And good on the first of the 2. 69-58, 142 left to play. Jefferson and Momcilovic check out of the Iowa State lineup. Bateman is back in. Eric Mulder has also come in. Too strong on the rebound for Creighton is Dmitrievich. And a timeout for substitutions. Greer's going to come back in, as is Shane Thomas.
Well, I think if you're TJ Otzelberger, you have to be really pleased with how you played the second half. And it's easy to play defense when you're making a bunch of shots, but that wasn't the case tonight. Iowa State was cold. Their top shooters weren't filling it up, and they're still 0 for from beyond the three-point line, but they continued to battle and compete.
Inside a minute and a half remaining. Creighton led 46-23 at halftime. Had a monster 23-0 run in the first half. They've been outscored here in the second half, 35-23. Another whistle, and more free throws coming. This is going to send Shane Thomas to the line.
Shane Thomas to the line.
Thomas hits the first of the 2 free throws. He was just 0 for 1 last year. Sophomore out of Las Vegas.
He's a guy that Greg McDermott trusts in spots to throw out there. He's got great strength, great athleticism.
Good story about Shane Thomas, reserve guard last year, played in 24 games. On Christmas Day 2024, got a letter saying you are now on scholarship.
Pretty cool, right?
Yep. Nice gift. May not have come under the tree.
No.
Swartz through traffic, lost the handle on it. Plata, numbers for Iowa State. Thomas recovers. Plata, Euro step, too strong. Ball swatted away on that attempt by Mitchell. Final 35 seconds. Well, it all begins for real for Creighton on November 5th. For Iowa State, November 3rd, they'll take on FDU, and then have a game against Grambling on November 6th. Greg McDermott still coaching X's and O's right down to the final seconds. Now that's a whistle and an offensive foul.
Sure they got a moving screen or...
Blue Jay foul number 27, Alexa Dimitrievich.
Dimitrievich is the one called for the foul. Davis will come in for the final 17 seconds as Dix exits.
I think both coaches are going to have a lot of good things on film. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but that's kind of what you want in a game like this, to have some teaching and coaching opportunities, both in the first half and the second half for both groups, some good and some bad.
Especially for Otzelberger to be able to say, look, we got buried in the first half, but if you play this way defensively, the way they did in the second, you got a chance.
Yep.
Right? Meanwhile, for Greg McDermott and the Creighton Blue Jays, it's a good start to 25-26. The two very good friends meet at midcourt. TJ Otzelberger coached with for Greg McDermott several seasons at Iowa State and has now taken over the reins of the Cyclone program and built it into one of the nation's best. And what can you say about the job that Greg McDermott has done now in his 16th season as the head coach of the Creighton Blue Jays? 71-58 is the final score. This one is not going to count when they put the resumes together come February, March, and looking in toward March Madness. But it's a good start to the season for Greg McDermott, now without Stephen Ashworth, without Ryan Kalkbrenner, who is going to emerge in this team that has 9 newcomers on it. Well, we saw a lot of players get a lot of minutes tonight, and Creighton is able to pull off the win. Nick Graves led the way with 13 points, 4 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 4 from three-point land. Blake Harper had 10 points, also reaching double figures. They were the only ones to reach double figures tonight for the Blue Jays, who shot 40% from the floor. They were hot in the first half, cooled in the second, ended up 9 of 30 from three-point range. Meanwhile, for Iowa State, we've talked about Joshua Jefferson, really came through with a big night, 18 points, 12 rebounds, a double-double. 8 of his 11 points came from the free throw line. He was the only Cyclone in double figures in a game that Creighton wins it by 13. And with that, Nick Baugh is standing by with Creighton head coach Greg McDermott.
Well, Coach, a lot of new faces on the floor. Before the game, you seemed curious as to what you were going to see. We've now seen it. What did you like?
I mean, there was some good, certainly defensively. Iowa State provides unique challenges defensively, things you may not see again the rest of the season. We're going to see it in Vegas in a few weeks. But I thought the first half we did a great job of handling their pressure. We had 1 turnover, and it wasn't live ball. The second half, we got a little sloppy with that. But, yeah, we played 11 guys over 10 minutes. I wanted to get my eyes on a lot of guys and a lot of different combinations, but there were certainly plenty of positives.
Nick Graves, I thought, really did a nice job, particularly in the first half, handling the basketball. He's going to have to do a lot of that for you this season. What'd you see from him?
Yeah, I thought his poise in the quarter court was great. And, you know, at times he played with the pace that I'd like him to play with in the full court. And I kept him over there the second half because I kind of saw what I needed to see from him. But also at that point, I wanted to make sure we won the game.
Defensively, what did you see on that end of the floor as you guys kind of dug in, at least held a team to under 60 points, which is good?
I mean, I thought the first half, especially after the start where we gave up 3 easy layups to start, I thought we dug in and made him take the type of shots we wanted him to take, and we did a decent job on the backboards. But second half, we had some breakdowns. We fouled way too much, and obviously the conditioning and the pace and playing in front of a crowd for the first time, a lot of factors go into it, but this is a great learning experience for us.
Thanks, Mac.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Coach McDermott, for your time. His team picks up a 71-58 win over Iowa State and did it without Owen Freeman, did it without Jackson McAndrew. And again, they'll have an exhibition game coming up on October 25th against Colorado State. Once again, our final score, Creighton defeats Iowa State by a final score of 71-58. For Nick Baugh and the entire Nebraska Public Media Sports Production crew, I'm Bill Dolman saying goodbye from CHI Health Center in Omaha.